Storytime. As far back as I can remember, as a child, I struggled in life, with life. It just appeared to me like however I was experiencing life, how sensitive I was, the things I could see and sense and other things like that. I thought everyone my age was like that, but they were just handling it a lot better somehow. But that wasn't the case. In reality, I was alone in the world. There was no resonance with the way that I saw the world, not really. And so I tried to blend in primarily to avoid detection, not be noticed. But you can't just hide and avoid people and be amongst people without having your presence known to some degree. And so humans need, or they think they need, to feel a sense of belonging and being acknowledged, validated and justified. And so I just tried to be interested in different things so that I could associate with different people. I played football. That made me feel quite popular. I was a goalkeeper, so sometimes that also made me feel quite unpopular. Only at the age of 9, 10. I did resonate with some people, and it was mostly, it's like school was divided into two people really, popular and unpopular, bullied or not. And I had to fit in both camps or be destroyed one way or the other. I knew this. I couldn't. When I learned that having a sense of humour was a secret get out of jail free card, that eased a lot of the burden in my teenage years. And my active teenage rebellion also greatly helped, but that's what steered me into trouble as well. So my teenagehood was the initiation that it needed to be, but not really, not quite, distorted when I was probably in the last year of senior school. No, in the last 2 years of senior school, I got my nose broke, and somebody came to the school, 2 lads, older, about 18, with a knife, for me, looking for me. Somebody came to the school and slapped me at lunchtime from a different school. He came specifically to speak to me with his hand. It takes us many years to understand that our weaknesses were actually our strength. Because the path to learning your own power has to be stretched out as much as it has to be stretched out, so that we don't have access to what is an unlimited source of power in this life. So that we don't get it too fast, too much, because we are a human vessel to navigate this power. So we got trampled on in life, but we always got up, even covered in footprints. When I was 15, still in school, one evening after school, I went out. Maybe it was autumn or winter because it was dark early. And I went and played headers and volleys, which is a football game that people like. You have one person in goal, and the goal was the shutters of a shop on Bosworth Drive in Chelmsford Wood. And I think there would have been about 5 of us, maybe 6. And I was in goal at one point. And if you catch the ball, then you're out of goal, and whoever kicked the ball goes in goal. But if the team of attackers score, I don't know, 5 goals, something, can't remember, then they win. I don't know, but we were playing 4 beats, right? Friend group. And I was in goal and I lost, and I got quite stomped. I actually had a footprint on my trousers. And it made me cry in front of teenage boys as a teenage boy, and it's like, whoa. Same time again tomorrow, lads. I don't play headers and volleys anymore. But I don't mind being in goal. So the themes, because I learned how to connect to humans on an individual level. It doesn't matter. It's not about trying to be in one group, is it? The themes. I learned about the hint of unity through dancing entire weekends away, fueled by substances that some blokes say we're not allowed to consume because they're bad for us, as per the words of some quote unquote trained medical professional or other. But music, right? A common thread something we can all agree on, something that resonates. Getting lost in the tribal nature of dance music, MDMA and ketamine definitely helped to anchor the space and hold it despite the fear, because the past is an illusion, but the nervous system carries it still, the memory of it, until it can forget about it. So to be in rooms full of people as a child, from a sensory point of view, it kind of felt like death sometimes, but without understanding why. But it's safe to be in a room full of humans when their hearts are all postured the same and angled in the right direction. And so music distracts us from whatever little foibles humanity has available and chooses to employ regularly because of fear, rebellion, music, counterculture. Music isn't about belonging. Music is just there to remind us that it belongs to us, and it's a byproduct of us. Expression. Until I triggered my inner rebel and started speaking out, I didn't know what it was to be alive. To feel like I'm participating. It's like life was just happening to me and I was getting swallowed up by it, and just seeing everything age around me, going, yeah, I'm trying to have fun and climb trees, but what the fuck is that? What's going to happen to me? That doesn't feel right. And it's alright when you've got a hill next to your house and a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles skateboard, but at some point you have to lie down in the dark with your eyes closed. And a mind that doesn't necessarily get the memo that it's time to go to bed and sleep. An old soul. That's a phrase that some people use, and yeah. Like children carrying the weight of the world on their shoulders, and all of the ancestral throwback of the world that we inherited, and then having their emotional range restricted, their vocal expression stunted, but their intelligence valued, cognitive ability, memory. I grew up in a world that tried to hold our attention, left, right, and centre. A lot of it was easy because they just put us in schools. We didn't even have to clock in or out, but we got paid and free meals. We got let out to run around for a bit. Mitchell Nolan found a mouse on his way into Hatchford Primary School. He was in my brother's year. And he took it in with him. And then at lunchtime he released it in the school grounds. That's a thing that happened. Also, when I was in primary school in Hatchford, Aaron Rawlings had enough and just ran home. They have big offences now. Sports day. Training us up for the Olympics. The Coliseum. I cried yesterday because I watched a video about Chris Eubank, a boxer, if you don't know, who won a fight, and as a consequence the man suffered severe brain injury. But he carried on boxing, I think. I don't know. Doesn't matter. I don't like boxing. It makes me angry. And I watched a video where he met up with the man, Michael Watson, after 30 years. And he was very emotional. He was very apologetic and remorseful. And Michael Watson said, let's move on. It's all love, man. It's cool. It's done. And it just broke me. Because then I didn't have to, but I did think about the fact that boxing is still a thing. Chris Eubank's son became a boxer. And he also put a man in hospital for an extended amount of time. Like, ancestral trauma, karma, is real. What we don't deal with, our children will have no choice but to. Well, that was the old paradigm. Because the children have found their place. I belong nowhere and everywhere. Anywhere I go, I am home. So, in conclusion,